Manchester United, Rasmus Hojlund. I told you yesterday, guys, that the priority now for United after Andre Onana is to go for Rasmus Hojlund, and this remains the idea into the club. Of course, they also want a new centre-back. Let's see with Isasi, who's in the list at Newcastle at United. They want a new defensive midfielder, but for Amrabat in the list and other options, not only Amrabat, it depends on what's going to happen in terms of outgoings with Fred, with Van de Beek. For Rasmus Hojlund now, for Manchester United, it's time to prepare the opening official bid. So Man United are discussing internally about the opening bid for Hojlund. They never sent any official bid. At the moment, they had some exchange with Atalanta through intermediaries to understand how much they wanted. And from what I'm told, it's something around 70 million euros. So then let's see if this is going to be something to be negotiated in the next days, or if Atalanta will remain firm on their position to ask for 70 million euros. But this is the potential fee for Rasmus Hojlund. So let's see how the conversation between Atalanta and Manchester United will go. We know
Fabrizio Romano there with a big update on Rasmus Hojlund. The number one priority now for Man United after Onana is complete. Of course, Mason Mount through the door. Amrabat will likely come later in the window if the likes of Fred and other midfielders can be moved on. We're going to talk a bit more about United in this. We're going to touch on Rashford as well and his new deal on this show. We're talking Chelsea and their potential move for Harry Maguire from Manchester United, and big rumours circulating of Arsenal moving for Joao Felix. We're delving into all of that on the show with you this evening. But the Rasmus Hojlund news, the first one out of the blocks there. As you can see, Man United will be making that move for him. The first official bid is soon. And there's a lot of talk and a lot of feeling surrounding this deal that it will get done, dusted, and will end up being over the line very, very soon indeed. But I want to know what you think and feel. Remember, all these stories now, to read them thoroughly, to research them yourself, download OneFootball. It's free of charge. It's the best one-stop shop for football, about all the news you could ever want, transfer stories, live scores, and so much more available on their app. Scan that QR code you see on the screen, or click on the link below. Now, before we come back to Manchester United a little bit later in the show, I wanted to touch on Chelsea. This story here is very, very interesting indeed. And I'm going to read this directly from the OneFootball website here. It says that Chelsea are considering a move for Harry Maguire after losing Wesley Fofana to a cruciate ligament injury. With less than a month before the Premier League season gets underway, Mauricio Pochettino's side have suffered a hammer blow with the news the French centre-back Fofana has undergone reconstructive surgery and is likely to miss the vast majority, if not all, of the Premier League season. The article goes on to say Fofana is likely to miss the season, as already mentioned, and with the club already having allowed Koulibaly and Azpilicueta to leave the club, the Blues are now quickly assessing defensive options available in the current transfer window. Sources have told us that one of their top options is the former Manchester United captain, Harry Maguire, and Chelsea have made an inquiry about the defender's situation at Manchester United. So nothing advanced as of right now, but inquiry made according to this report. And it's the second time in 2 days that Maguire's name has been mentioned and connected to Chelsea. Now, we know that Newcastle, we know that Tottenham, and we know that West Ham are all circling and inquiring and making inroads into the situation with Harry Maguire. Maguire very much has been quite public, not directly, but via his representation, that he wants to stay at Man United and fight for his position. That is the public stance. But privately, it's believed since he's had the captaincy scrapped and taken away from him, he is open and he is looking for a move away from Old Trafford this summer. This could be a match made in heaven for Man United fans. If there could be a mini bidding war, if United could recoup even 35 to 40 million pounds of the 85 they invested in the England centre-back, that would probably be seen at this point as a win. The article here goes on to say that it was revealed on Monday that Erik ten Hag had communicated with Maguire that the club are keen to sell him this summer, and the England international has recently been stripped of the captaincy. Maguire has featured sporadically since Erik ten Hag took charge of the club last summer, making just 8 starts in the Premier League during the whole of the previous campaign. The 30-year-old has been considering his options with potential interest from West Ham, Tottenham, Newcastle, and a number of Serie A clubs, including Inter Milan and Juve, with a potential move to Stamford Bridge could be his most appealing option this summer. And I do think, by the way, if all these clubs come in for him, I think Chelsea would be the number one destination for this man. I genuinely believe it would. I think he would love the idea of playing for such a big club, a team with the European heritage, with a big fan base, who many predict to go on to a very high level again under Maurizio Pochettino. So I'm very intrigued to know what you think. Very, very intrigued to get your opinion on this, especially Chelsea fans. Now, keeping it on Chelsea to a degree, I've seen a rumor today about Chelsea flop joining Arsenal. I couldn't understand where this rumor was coming from. Joao Felix to Arsenal. Is it back on? So I've been searching the internet. I've been searching Twitter. I've been looking for the connection. What journalist? What agent? What has the player said? Why has this rumor come about? And could Felix be on his way to Arsenal? And then I found this article on OneFootball that claims that Chelsea flop ignored advice from his entourage to seal the Arsenal transfer. And the article goes on to state that Chelsea flop, I mean, they write this, not my words, Chelsea flop Joao Felix reportedly had a chance to join Arsenal back in January, but chose the move to Stamford Bridge despite the advice of his entourage and representation. The Portugal international spent the second half of last season on loan at Chelsea and is now back at Atletico Madrid and struggling to find a new club. According to AS and translated by Sports Witness, the feeling of those close to the player is that he might be in a better situation now if he'd joined Arsenal instead, as Mikel Arteta's style of play may have suited him better. That's sort of the long and the short of it. So again, I saw that as a base article. Right, where else can I find a story about Felix to Arsenal? And there isn't any. There's none that are circulating right now. I've seen a few in the nose, people who don't use their real names or faces, talk about it and say it's one to watch out for. It's a deal that Arsenal may reignite. It's a deal that Arsenal are interested in, but there is nothing credible anywhere else. There's not, listen, I understand that everyone sees journalists differently. And sometimes if it comes from Portuguese press or Spanish press or Italian press, people are still skeptical. There is nothing, niente, nil point, not a murmur, not a crumb, not a molecule, not a quantum of evidence to suggest that Joao Felix and Arsenal are going to enter any kind of talks about a transfer this summer. I can find none. Anywhere. Doesn't exist in any capacity. So this is Twitter. This is fans getting excited about the idea based on this article. That's all I can really boil it down to. Should Arsenal explore him? I want to know what you think. I'm not even going to give an opinion on it right now. I want to know what you think. Right now in the comment section below. Joao Felix to Arsenal. If it was announced as on tomorrow, what would you make of it? What feelings would it induce in you? Let me know. Really intrigued to find out. Marcus Rashford, let's take a little listen here to Fabrizio Romano.
Man United star Marcus Rashford has finally signed his new contract at Manchester United. Is signed, is completed, all the documents are okay, just waiting for the official statement. So Man United will prepare, of course, something special to announce the new contract of Marcus Rashford, of course, in terms of media, in terms of content, but it's done. Rashford signed a new deal at Manchester United.
And it's now been formally announced. The pictures, sorry, wrong overlay. The pictures have now been shown to the world that Rashford signs a new 5-year deal, £325,000 a week contract, one of the biggest in Manchester United history, especially for a homegrown player. And I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon for a number of reasons. The first one being he got his head down and got himself not just back to his best, but beyond his previous bests. I still think there's more to come from Marcus Rashford. I still think there's more goals, more assists, more trophies for him to help us win. I'm also proud of the way Ten Hag handled this. Rated him. knew that he could get back to that level, but did not allow him to get a new deal until he had proven it. And that's the thing in life, theory versus reality. In theory, we should have given Rashford a new deal last year, but he had to prove in reality he could get back to the best levels. And right now, in my personal opinion, there are no attainable left-hand-sided forwards in world football that are better than Marcus Rashford. Attainable. That Man United could afford, and who want to join the club, and whose club would sell them to us. You could argue the Napoli winger, Carvadonna, you could argue we could get that deal done. That's the only one. Did Rafael Leao, don't think it's as good as Rashford. Mbappe, not attainable for us. Neymar, too injury prone, not attainable for us. Vinicius Jr., not attainable. So if they're not attainable and you can't buy them, it's pointless. It's pointless suggesting that there are better players out there than Marcus Rashford. Who we could sign and who would play for Man United, we have the very best in the world right now, in my opinion. That's why he's worth the money. That's why we need to invest in him. And I'm very, very proud that the club has gone about this in the right way. And it's been very rare in the last decade that I've praised the operation element of Manchester United. This is a rarity, but I hope it becomes the normality at the football club, because it doesn't just represent good business on the field of play, it sets the standards at the club. Win trophies, get your performances back to a high level, then you get new deals. Phenomenal piece of business by the club. Proud and happy for Marcus Rashford. But as ever, I want to know what you think and feel below. Hit the like and the share button, people. Download OneFootball as well. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.